Welcome to Miss Scarlett. Subscribe and don't miss out on Patreon. Have fun! The pulsing bass reverberated through the floorboards as Emilio stood nervously in front of the full-length mirror, hardly recognizing the reflection staring back at him. Sienna's emerald green dress hugged his body. Dark waves of the chestnut wig cascaded past his shoulders, framing a face that looked both familiar and foreign. "Hold still," Sienna instructed, wielding an eyeliner pencil with expert precision. "I'm almost done with your makeup." Emilio tried not to fidget as his friend applied the finishing touches. He'd never worn so much as chapstick before, let alone a full face of cosmetics. The foundation felt strange on his skin, but he had to admit the overall effect was striking. "There!" Sienna stepped back, admiring her handiwork. "What do you think, Margo?" The name sent a little thrill through him. For tonight, he wasn't Emilio anymore. He was Margo, free to be someone entirely new. Wow. Emilio turned his head, marveling at how the contour accentuated his cheekbones. "I can't believe that's me." Sienna grinned, clearly pleased with herself. "You look hot, girl. No one will recognize you." She glanced at her phone. "We should head over soon. You ready for this?" Emilio took a deep breath, smoothing his hands over the dress. Was he ready? Part of him wanted to chicken out, to wipe off the makeup and change back into his normal jeans and t-shirt. But a larger part was thrumming with excitement, eager to step out of his comfort zone. "As ready as I'll ever be," he replied, forcing a smile. "That's the spirit!" Sienna grabbed her purse. "Let's go knock 'em dead!" The short walk to the party house felt surreal. Emilio was hyper-aware of the breeze on his exposed legs, the unfamiliar sway of his hips as he walked in heels. He'd practiced for hours in Sienna's room, but moving in public was a whole different experience. Music spilled out onto the lawn as they approached, colored lights flashing in the windows. A crowd had already gathered on the porch, red Solo cups in hand. Emilio's heart raced. This was it, the moment of truth. "Remember," Sienna whispered as they climbed the steps. "You're Margo tonight. Own it." With a deep breath, Emilio squared his shoulders and followed her inside. The foyer was packed with people in various states of gender-swapped dress. Guys in wigs and dresses mingled with girls sporting fake facial hair. Under different circumstances, Emilio might have felt self-conscious, but tonight he blended right in. "Margo! There you are!" A tall guy in a floral sundress waved them over. It took Emilio a moment to recognize his roommate Carlos beneath the long blonde wig and makeup. "We were wondering when you'd show up," Carlos said, pulling them both into a hug. His eyes widened as he got a good look at Emilio. "Damn, girl! You clean up nice!" Emilio felt himself blush, unused to such forward compliments. "Thanks," he mumbled, pitching his voice higher. "You look great, too." Carlos preened, striking an exaggerated pose. "Don't I, though? The beard was a bitch to shave off, but beauty is pain, right?" He grabbed their hands. "Come on. Let's get you two some drinks." They wove through the crowd toward the kitchen. Emilio tried not to stare, but it was fascinating seeing his classmates in a whole new light. That burly guy from his econ class was rocking a pink tutu. The captain of the women's volleyball team had traded her usual ponytail for slicked-back hair and a drawn-on mustache. In the kitchen, Carlos mixed up some fruity concoction in plastic cups. "Here you go, ladies. Drink up." Emilio sipped cautiously. The sweetness masked the burn of alcohol, making it dangerously easy to drink. He'd have to be careful not to overdo it.
So, Margo,
Carlos leaned in conspiratorially.
see any cute boys you want to dance with?
For a moment, Emilio panicked. He hadn't thought about dancing, but then he remembered. He was Margo tonight. Margo could be bold in a way Emilio never dared.
Maybe,
he replied coyly.
Got anyone in mind?
Carlos's eyes lit up, clearly thrilled to play matchmaker.
Ooh, what about him?
He subtly pointed across the room.
That's Liam from the soccer team. He cleans up nice, doesn't he?
Emilio followed his gaze. Liam was dressed in a fitted button-up shirt and jeans, his athletic build unmistakable. Under normal circumstances, Emilio would have been way too intimidated to approach him. But tonight...
He's pretty cute,
Emilio admitted.
Think I should go talk to him? Absolutely.
Carlos gave him a gentle shove.
Go get him, Tiger.
Heart pounding, Emilio made his way across the room. He could do this. He was Margo, confident, flirty Margo, who wasn't afraid to go after what she wanted.
Hi there,
he said, tapping Liam on the shoulder.
I like your outfit.
Liam turned, a grin spreading across his face as he took in Emilio's appearance.
Thanks. Yours is pretty great, too. I'm Liam. Margo,
Emilio replied, extending his hand.
Nice to meet you. Likewise.
Liam's grip was firm, his palm slightly calloused.
Can I get you a drink, Margo?
Emilio gestured with his still full cup.
I'm good for now, but I wouldn't say no to a dance.
I'd love to. Liam set down his cup and took Emilio's hand, leading him to the makeshift dance floor in the living room. The song was upbeat, with a pounding rhythm that vibrated through Emilio's chest. He let the music guide his movements, swaying his hips in a way that felt natural in this dress. Liam moved with surprising grace, keeping time with the beat. As they danced, Emilio felt his nerves melting away. This wasn't so different from dancing with friends at other parties. Except... there was an undeniable spark of attraction between them. Liam's eyes kept drifting appreciatively over Emilio's figure, and Emilio found himself admiring the defined muscles of Liam's arms. The song transitioned to something slower, more sensual. Without missing a beat, Liam pulled Emilio closer, hands settling on his waist. Emilio's breath caught in his throat at the proximity. He looped his arms around Liam's neck, acutely aware of every point of contact between their bodies.
You're a great dancer,
Liam murmured, his breath warm against Emilio's ear.
Thanks,
Emilio replied, thankful for the dim lighting that hid his blush.
You're not so bad yourself.
They swayed together, lost in the music and the moment. Emilio marveled at how natural this felt. He'd always been awkward around guys he found attractive, but as Margo, flirting came easily. As the song came to an end, Liam pulled back slightly to meet Emilio's eyes.
Want to grab some air?
He asked, nodding toward the back door. Emilio nodded, suddenly craving a moment away from the crowded party. He let Liam lead him outside, their fingers intertwined. The backyard was quieter, strings of fairy lights casting a soft glow over the grass. A few small groups were scattered around, but it was much less crowded than inside. Liam guided them to an unoccupied porch swing, sitting close enough that their thighs touched.
So, Margo,
Liam said, his arm draped casually across the back of the swing.
Tell me about yourself. What's your major?
Emilio hesitated for a split second. How much should he reveal? He decided to keep things vague.
I'm studying business,
he replied. It wasn't a lie. That was his actual major. What about you?
Sports medicine,
Liam said. I play soccer, but I'm hoping to be an athletic trainer after graduation. They fell into easy conversation, discussing classes and campus life. Emilio found himself relaxing, genuinely enjoying Liam's company. He was funny and smart, with a warm smile that made Emilio's heart flutter. As they talked, Liam's hand found its way to Emilio's knee, his thumb tracing small circles on the bare skin. The touch sent shivers up Emilio's spine. He leaned in closer, drawn to Liam's warmth.
You know,
Liam said softly,
I've seen you around campus before, but I never had the courage to talk to you. You always seemed so cool and put together.
Emilio blinked in surprise.
Really? I thought the same thing about you.
Liam chuckled.
Guess we were both too intimidated, huh? I'm glad we finally got the chance to meet.
Their eyes met, and the air between them crackled with tension. Emilio's gaze dropped to Liam's lips, wondering what it would be like to kiss him. As if reading his mind, Liam began to lean in. Just then, the back door banged open. They sprang apart as a group of rowdy partygoers spilled out onto the porch. There you are! Sienna's voice cut through the noise. She stumbled slightly as she approached, clearly a few drinks in. I've been looking everywhere for you, girl. Emilio fought back a wave of irritation at the interruption.
Hey, Sienna, you okay?
I'm great. She plopped down on Emilio's other side, oblivious to the moment she'd interrupted. Who's your friend?
This is Liam,
Emilio said.
Liam, this is my friend Sienna.
Liam waved, looking slightly uncomfortable.
Nice to meet you.
Sienna's eyes lit up with recognition. Ooh, you're on the soccer team, right? I've seen you play. You're really good.
Thanks,
Liam replied. He glanced at Emilio.
I should probably go find my friends. It was great talking to you, Margo. Maybe I'll see you around campus sometime.
Emilio nodded, trying to hide his disappointment.
Yeah, definitely. It was nice meeting you.
Liam squeezed his hand before heading back inside. Emilio watched him go, a mix of emotions swirling in his chest. He's cute, Sienna said, nudging Emilio with her elbow.
Did you get his number?
Emilio shook his head.
No, we just talked for a bit.
He sighed, running a hand through his wig.
I think we might have kissed if you hadn't shown up when you did.
Sienna's eyes widened. Oh shit, I'm sorry.
I didn't realize I was cock-blocking you. It's fine,
Emilio assured her, though a part of him wished he'd had just a few more minutes alone with Liam.
How's your night going?
As Sienna launched into a story about her adventures on the dance floor, Emilio found his thoughts drifting. The encounter with Liam had been exciting, but it also raised some questions he wasn't quite ready to face. Was he attracted to Liam because he was Margo tonight? Or was this something he'd been repressing as Emilio? He pushed the thoughts aside for now. There would be time for soul-searching later. Tonight was about having fun and embracing this new persona. And then Carlos said we should do karaoke, Sienna was saying. You in? Emilio hesitated. Normally, he'd never have the guts to sing in front of people. But tonight... You know what? Sure, let's do it! Sienna squealed in delight, pulling him to his feet. This is gonna be awesome! They made their way back inside, weaving through the crowd to where a karaoke machine had been set up in the corner of the living room. Carlos was already there, scrolling through the song list. Ladies! He called out when he spotted them. Perfect timing! We need more singers for our girl group number. Emilio raised an eyebrow.
Girl group. Spice Girls,
Carlos said with a grin.
I'm thinking wannabe. You in?
Under normal circumstances, Emilio would have politely declined, but the fruity drinks had loosened him up, and the energy of the party was infectious. Plus, as Margo, he felt bold enough to try anything.
Let's do it,
he said, grabbing a microphone. Carlos whooped, quickly assigning parts. Okay, I'll be Scary Spice. Sienna can be Baby. And Margo, you're Posh. Ready? Before Emilio could second-guess himself, the familiar opening notes filled the room. Carlos launched into the spoken intro with gusto, and then they were off. Yo, I'll tell you what I want. What I really, really want. Emilio's voice was shaky at first, but he gained confidence as they got further into the song. He even found himself getting into the cheesy dance moves, shimmying and pointing on cue. The crowd was eating it up, cheering and singing along. As they hit the chorus, Emilio caught sight of Liam in the audience. He was grinning ear to ear, clapping along with the beat. Emboldened, Emilio winked at him, putting extra sass into his performance. By the time the song ended, Emilio was breathless and exhilarated. The room erupted in applause and cheers. He'd never felt so alive, so free to just be silly and have fun without worrying what people thought. That was amazing! Sienna threw her arms around him in a hug. I didn't know you could sing like that.
Neither did I,
Emilio admitted with a laugh. As they stepped off the makeshift stage, Liam approached.
You guys killed it up there,
he said.
Especially you, Margo. I'm impressed.
Emilio felt himself blush.
Thanks. It was pretty fun. Listen,
Liam said, rubbing the back of his neck.
I know the party's still going, but I was thinking about heading out soon. Would you maybe want to grab a late-night coffee or something?
Emilio's heart skipped a beat. This was exactly the kind of spontaneous adventure he'd hoped for tonight. But a nagging voice in the back of his mind reminded him that he wasn't really Margo. How long could he keep up this charade?
I'd love to,
he found himself saying.
Just let me tell my friends I'm leaving.
Liam's face lit up.
Great! I'll meet you by the front door in a few minutes.
Emilio nodded, watching Liam disappear into the crowd. He turned to Sienna, who was eyeing him with a knowing smirk. Going somewhere? She asked.
Maybe,
Emilio replied.
Is it okay if I keep the dress a little longer? I promise I'll return it tomorrow.
Sienna waved a hand dismissively. Keep it as long as you need. Just be careful, okay? And text me when you get home.
I will,
Emilio promised. He hugged her tightly.
Thanks for everything tonight. I'm having an amazing time.
That's what friends are for, Sienna said. Now go get your man. With one last goodbye to Carlos, Emilio made his way to the front of the house. Liam was waiting by the door, now in a casual t-shirt and jeans.
Ready to go?
He asked, offering his arm. Emilio took it, heart fluttering.
Lead the way.
They stepped out into the cool night air, the sounds of the party fading behind them. Emilio wasn't sure what the rest of the night would bring, but he was excited to find out. For now, he was content to simply enjoy the moment, reveling in the freedom of being Margo for just a little while longer. The streets were quiet as they walked, most of the campus nightlife concentrated around the fraternity houses they'd left behind. Liam's arm was warm against Emilio's, their steps falling into an easy rhythm.
So,
Liam said, breaking the comfortable silence.
There's a 24-hour diner about a block from here. They make a mean stack of pancakes. You game?
Emilio's stomach growled at the mention of food. He hadn't realized how hungry he was after all the dancing.
Pancakes sound perfect,
he replied. As they approached the diner, its neon sign casting a warm glow on the sidewalk, a sudden wave of nerves hit Emilio. In the dim lighting of the party, it had been easier to pass as female. But under the harsh fluorescence of the diner, would his disguise hold up? Liam must have sensed his hesitation. He squeezed Emilio's hand reassuringly. "We don't have to go in if you're not comfortable," he said. "We could just walk around campus if you prefer." Emilio took a deep breath, steeling himself. He was Margo tonight, bold, confident Margo, who wasn't afraid of a little adventure.
"No, let's go in,"
he said.
"I'm starving."
The bell above the door chimed as they entered. A few other late-night patrons glanced up, but quickly returned to their own conversations. The waitress, an older woman with graying hair, barely batted an eye at their outfits. "Sit wherever you like, kids," she called out. "I'll be with you in a minute." They slid into a booth near the back, the vinyl seats squeaking slightly. Emilio smoothed his dress, hyper-aware of how he was sitting. He'd have to remember to keep his knees together.
"So,"
Liam said, propping his elbows on the table.
"I have to ask, what made you decide on that particular outfit for tonight?"
Emilio froze for a moment, scrambling for a believable answer. "Oh, you know," he said, with what he hoped was a casual shrug. "I just thought it would be fun to go all out. When else do you get the chance to completely transform yourself, right?" Liam nodded, a thoughtful expression on his face. "I get that. It's liberating, isn't it? Being someone else for a night."
"Exactly,"
Emilio agreed, relieved that Liam seemed to understand. "What about you? How'd you end up in that getup?" Liam laughed, tugging at the hem of his shirt. "Lost a bet with my teammates, actually, but I have to admit it's been pretty fun, though I don't know how you girls walk in heels all the time. My feet are killing me." Before Emilio could respond, the waitress appeared with menus. "What can I get you two to drink?" "Coffee, please," Liam said. "Black." Emilio hesitated. He didn't usually drink coffee this late, but Margo might. "I'll have the same," he decided. As the waitress walked away, Liam raised an eyebrow. "Brave choice. You sure you want to be up all night?" There was a hint of suggestion in his tone that made Emilio's cheeks flush.
"Well,"
he replied, trying to channel Margo's confidence.
"The night is still young, isn't it?"
Liam's grin widened. "I like the way you think." They fell into easy conversation as they perused the menus, debating the merits of various breakfast foods. When the waitress returned, they both ordered the blueberry pancakes.
"So, Margo,"
Liam said, once they were alone again. "Tell me something about yourself that would surprise me." Emilio considered the question carefully. He wanted to be as honest as possible without giving away his true identity.
"Well,"
he said slowly,
"most people don't know this, but I'm actually a huge sci-fi nerd. I've seen every episode of Star Trek."
Liam's eyes lit up.
"No way! Original series or Next Generation?"
"Both," Emilio admitted.
"Plus Deep Space Nine and Voyager." "A woman after my own heart,"
Liam said, placing a hand over his chest dramatically.
"Okay, favorite captain. Go." "Picard,"
Emilio said without hesitation.
"Though Janeway is a close second."
They launched into an animated discussion of their favorite episodes and characters, the conversation flowing easily. Emilio found himself relaxing, genuinely enjoying Liam's company. It was nice to connect with someone over shared interests, without the usual social anxiety he felt around cute guys. Their pancakes arrived, steam rising from the fluffy stacks. They dug in eagerly, the conversation pausing as they savored the first few bites.
Oh man,
Liam groaned appreciatively.
these are even better than I remembered.
Emilio nodded in agreement, his mouth too full to speak. The pancakes were indeed delicious, the perfect balance of sweet and tart from the blueberries. As they ate, Emilio found himself studying Liam more closely. In the bright light of the diner, he could see the faint stubble beginning to show through Liam's foundation. His Adam's apple was visible above the neckline of his shirt. It was a strange juxtaposition, these masculine features with the feminine outfit. Liam caught him looking and smirked.
See something you like?
Emilio blushed, caught off guard. Sorry, I didn't mean to stare. It's just, you pull off that outfit surprisingly well.
Thanks,
Liam replied.
Though I have to say, you definitely win the prize for best dressed tonight. That color looks amazing on you.
The compliment sent a warm flutter through Emilio's chest. He still wasn't used to receiving such direct praise, especially from someone as attractive as Liam.
Thank you,
he murmured, ducking his head shyly. Liam reached across the table, gently tilting Emilio's chin up to meet his gaze.
Hey,
he said softly.
You don't have to be shy with me. I like you, Margo. A lot.
Emilio's heart raced at the intensity in Liam's eyes. For a moment, he let himself imagine leaning across the table, closing the distance between them. The clatter of dishes startled them apart as the waitress began clearing nearby tables. Emilio sat back, his cheeks burning. What was he thinking? He couldn't kiss Liam, not when Liam thought he was someone else entirely.
You okay?
Liam asked, concern evident in his voice. Emilio nodded, forcing a smile.
Yeah, sorry. Just got lost in thought for a second there.
Liam studied him for a moment, then glanced at his watch.
It's getting pretty late. Want to get out of here? We could walk around campus for a bit, if you're not ready to call it a night.
Part of Emilio knew he should probably head home. The longer this charade went on, the harder it would be to extricate himself. But a larger part wasn't ready for the night to end.
A walk sounds nice,
he said. They split the bill and headed out into the night. Hope you enjoyed the story so far. The rest will be available on Patreon.